Okay, let's ignore that my bangs are a mess. I really need a haircut. Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing super duper well. So I'm super excited to make this video. A lot of you guys were curious about it when I posted on my Instagram story, and it was actually a subscriber who asked me to do this, and I was like, yeah, why not? I hope the audio is fine. I'm actually using this for the first time. So yeah, so today I wanted to film this video where I tell you a little bit about how I learned English and how I'm learning Japanese at the moment. Let's get started, I guess. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to answer your questions that you asked me on Instagram, and half of them aren't related to learning English or Japanese, but it's okay. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. It would mean a lot. And yeah, so I guess let's start. Before we start, I actually wanted to give you like a quick background story because I grew up with many languages. So basically my mom is Algerian and she moved to France when she was younger. Would always, like, until last year, because of COVID, we used to go to Algeria every single year and spend like 3 months or so to see my family, and they only speak Algerian, so I would speak, I grew up speaking both French and Algerian. And here in France I have an aunt who is like an English teacher, and she speaks English, and she would always speak English to me. I remember when I was younger, every time we gathered, she would always be like, oh, you will become an English teacher as well, I can feel it. And I was like, at this time I was like, no, I really like English, but I don't want to be a teacher. But here we are. My environment was already like 3 languages, so yeah. Also, when I was young, I had this passion for English songs and also everything related to the US. I was such a nerd for this kind of stuff, I don't know. And also my cousin, when I went to Algeria, she was also obsessed with like English songs and English movies and just like the whole culture, I guess. It was so different from ours, so yeah, that's how I started to really get into English, when I would listen to songs and like try to memorize them. And I'm not much of a singer now, but I used to sing a lot with my cousin, and yeah, we were really obsessed with this whole thing. And eventually, when I was in primary school, we started having like proper English lessons. I was a little bit more advanced compared to the other students, because obviously I was already speaking and listening to English and stuff like that. So when we had English classes, I used to love being like so good at it, and like the teacher was so nice. She would always compliment me, and like, you know, for a kid, when they do something good and they get compliments, and like it's really like a good feeling, you know. So it's at this moment I was like, I love English and I want to speak like as fluently as possible. So yeah, then I grew up, I went to like school, like middle school, and in middle school we had to choose another language. So it was either Spanish or Italian or Latin, and I went for Italian because, I don't know, I really like it. I started learning Italian, and obviously again I really liked really studying language and having positive feedback from the teacher, and I would always be like raising my hand for everything. You know, this student who always wants to speak and the teacher is like, no, you spoke enough, shut up now. I was this kid. I was always trying to participate, and I really loved it. So yeah, I was really like a big nerd for languages. So after high school, I actually was very confused. I didn't know where I was going. I had so many ideas, like jobs I wanted to do, and it was very confusing. but I ended up after a certain okay, this video is gonna be a bit long. I'm so sorry for this. It's already 7 minutes, but we had to choose an orientation, and basically my math teacher kept telling me to go for architecture. I thought they would maybe accept me because I had good ideas and I was really passionate, but turns out you really have to be good at maths, and my teacher knew that I was very bad and he still encouraged me to take the path. And at the end I ended up not having any other thing to it's very complicated in here in France, but I couldn't choose anything and I was in such a rush. I had to choose something or I would end up with nothing to do next year. So I quickly put English as a major, and I ended up going to English university. It was English studies, and I actually don't regret it because it was so good. I'm not even kidding. I really miss going to class. It was maybe the best years. Not maybe. It was the best years of my life so far. And yeah, then I just went for the translation path because I wanted to be a translator, but I didn't know how hard it is to be a freelance and how hard it is to be employed by a translating company. So yeah, I ended up not knowing what to do. That's basically my journey to learning English. So yeah, I was already growing in an English speaking environment. Everything I would watch was in English, even videos when I speak on the internet I would only speak in English. Now I'm actually gonna tell you how I kept my level okay, and you can see that I can actually see it to myself that I lost a little bit of my pronunciation. I don't pronounce things as well as I used to pronounce them back then when I was in university. Back when I was in uni, I would speak English every day. We would practice every day. And now that I stopped uni for 2 years and only worked in retail and only spoke French, and I don't speak with my aunt that much anymore. She came to visit last time, but it was actually to tell me not to go to Japan and be an English teacher here. So yeah, that didn't go well. So I don't really practice that much anymore, so I can see that my pronunciation is a bit not how it used to be. But I'm going to give you some advice on how you can keep your English or any other language that you learned and you want to keep your level, or maybe even get better at it without having this environment. I don't know if you're not at uni anymore, or if you moved to another country or things like that. Okay, so the number one tip that I can give you that is very simple is to start thinking in this language. For example, for myself, I used to always think in English, and I kind of stopped for some time, and now I'm trying to force myself to only think in English. For example, I don't know if you guys are like this too, but I'm very I talk to myself as if we were two. For example, I would be okay, now we're going to do this. I'm always trying to think in the language, and I feel it really helps because sometimes it forces you to use certain vocabulary, especially if you have troubles making correct sentences. I find this very helpful because when you start learning a language, you want to actually forget about the structure of your own language and just I don't know how to explain that, but basically you forget about the previous structure of your mother tongue. For example, in French we use for example, when I want to say this plushie, this is a pink plushie, and in France we say it's a plushie that is pink, kind of like c'est une peluche rose. You just switch the noun and the adjective, and yeah, so you basically need to constantly remind yourself that it's not like the same structure. And for me, the easiest thing, like the easiest way to learn that was to only think in English. Although you might struggle a little bit at the beginning because you'll think, oh, I don't have enough vocabulary. For example, you want to say something and then you're like, what's this thing called? And it's exactly when you start learning more vocabulary, because then you are curious about what's missing and you'll go and look for it. And yeah, that's very helpful, I think. The second tip is something I used to do all the time. I was obsessed with Discord. I used to have the link of my server, but I deleted it, and one person actually came up to me and asked why, and I just wanted to say that I feel more comfortable with only my friends in this Discord, because some people have been joining and they're not like in the same spirit, and I don't want to ruin that, so I took it back. So yeah, so Discord is an app or software. You can also have it on your laptop. Basically, it was made for gamers, I think, like to communicate when they're gaming. Yeah, so you'll find all kind of servers for gaming if you're into gaming, or language learning, anything, like basically anything. You just Google, for example, learning English Discord server, and you have the link, so you can just join. And I actually used to be so much, like I used to use this app so much when I was at college, like at university. I never know which one to use. I'm very confused because when you learn English, they teach you like the RP is like received pronunciation. I used to always speak with other people online in English, and I remember that this one person came to me, and I was like, oh my god, everyone is typing so fast, I cannot get used to it, like I couldn't type. And this person came up to me and was like, you'll see, in a week you'll be able to talk this fast and your English will improve. And it was so shocking how I could like instantly answer and read very fast, and yeah, it was amazing. So I really recommend it, even though it's not something your usual teacher would recommend. Also, you have to be careful which server you join. Obviously there are very bad servers, so be careful of that, but I really recommend doing this because you also have like the voice option where you guys join a room where you can talk with each other, like just like a big conversation, like on Skype for example, but you don't have the camera. And even just joining these and hearing people speaking, like actual people from this specific country speaking, you get like, I don't know, you improve your hearing and also how you'll pronounce things. So yeah, I highly recommend that because it's fun, you learn a lot. This is like always with you, like I have it on my phone and I have it on my laptop. It's always with me and I'm always using it, and without even noticing, you'll improve a lot. So yeah. Okay, so before we start the Q&A, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how I'm studying Japanese at the moment, because if you guys didn't know, I'm actually studying because I want to move to Japan and I want to be able to speak the language, obviously. So I'm learning. It's very hard to learn by yourself. I find that I learn quicker with a teacher, and so I was thinking about doing something like an online class or something like that, or just sign up for college but have like online classes, because I think it's for me it's something that would work faster. How I study, I try to have it like as a routine, but like every time I wake up, sorry, I'm on my phone, that's why, every morning when I wake up, I pull my phone out, and the first thing I do, because I struggle with this a lot, is practice kana characters, like katakana and hiragana mostly. I have this folder that is for studying, and I have all my apps here. So I go to the Canon one here. I'll try to leave the links in the description. Then, if I have some time, I'll do it right away, or maybe I'll just wait a little bit later, but I try to do this in the morning while my Kana studying is still fresh. I go to this app called Today here, and it's basically the news in Japanese, and I can't understand everything yet, but I try my best to read as much as I can, and sometimes I'll try to see the meaning of some words, not every single word, because it gets very hard then. I'm using this one, which is Nihongo, and it's like a dictionary. Yeah, so I only use this when I'm just like sitting down and studying like hardcore grammar. Yeah, so that's it for my apps. And something I've been doing, it was actually an advice from a friend. Back then when I was on Discord, I had this friend who was studying Japanese, and I could see how like quickly he learned, and it was by himself, and I was like, how do you do that? And even his pronunciation was so good. Like when we talked like on audio, he would like speak so fluently, and I was like, dude, do you take classes or what? And he was like, no, I actually do this thing and you should really do it too. It's basically if you like anime, you just watch anime and you repeat the sentence. I'm sorry, I had to switch to my iPhone to both see how it looks and sounds, and also because I have like a storage problem on my laptop right now, so the bit of audio that I recorded on it, it's like saturated, so yeah, hopefully the audio is fine. I know it won't be as good as the mic, but I guess for the Q&A it's fine. So yeah, I'm going to answer your questions now. I feel like, yeah, okay, I hate phones. First question, can you do a Minecraft Let's Play? Please don't tempt me. I am definitely going to do a Let's Play very soon. I just don't know, like I just have to organize everything, because like to film myself and film the screen and synchronize everything, I still have to get this down, but I would love to do that, especially Minecraft. I used to play a lot. I wasn't good at all, so yeah, definitely would do that. Do you ever plan on living in Japan? Also, love your videos. Thank you so much. Yes, I do actually. It's just that I'm waiting for the borders to open, but I actually have a job. I have a place to stay, like everything is settled. I just need to get there. And I feel like I'm cursed, because every time I'm like this close to go, they close the borders. So yeah. Not a question, but your English seems more than decent to me. Yeah, thank you so much, but I can hear myself, and I can hear that sometimes it's complicated. When did you start learning English? As I said, I started very, very young. I'd say at least, okay, 7 years old, something like that. Yeah, 7 years old. Do you have any tips for learning Japanese? Yes, practice every single day. I mean it. If you want to see improvement, I used to think that two times a week was enough, but it is not. I'm trying to do that every single day, and I'm still forgetting some characters, so do that every single day. Try to get exposed as much as you can by like watching videos or animes, or I don't know, listening to music, trying to read things like journal or anything basically. How do you keep a decent level in English? Well, as I said, I try to only think in English. I speak in English online, so I'm always online, so I'm always speaking English. But like when I'm speaking and trying to pronounce things, I try to read. That's something I used to do a lot when I was in university. I would read, like, for example, books that we had to read when we were studying, they are all in English. I have this one, but I have basically all the books that I have in English. I try to read them out loud and try to make the best accent. So yeah, that really helps. How did you start learning English, or what was your motive to start learning English? Love you, by the way. As I said, I started because I really loved hearing songs with my cousin and like watching series and movies. That's how I like got really into it, because it was something that was interesting. So, not a question, but you're so cute. Thank you so much. Which is your favorite language to speak? Obviously English. I don't know, I don't like speaking French anymore. Like, it's not something that is, you know, I rather speak English. And yeah, actually when we had this psycholinguistic class, we learned some things about like students who learned a new language in order to get like separated kind of from their mother tongue, because like it's all psychological. For me, I don't know, but I just don't really like French. How are you so cute? Oh my god. I love your content. Thank you so much. I try to make it decent, and yeah, I'm really glad that my content really like is meaningful somehow, and that people actually like it. Yeah. Do you learn Japanese easily through watching anime? When will you be going to Japan? Yes, I do, because for example this morning I popped an episode of Lucky Star, and every time they said something like a sentence, I would repeat it. Like, I was actually like watching and learning at the same time. So yes, I find it very like, it's easier. You learn, but it's like fun, you know, it's not a task, and yeah, it's much easier. And for when I will be going to Japan, that's the question. Okay, last question. Do you have programs, resources for your Japanese learning and to maintain or improve your English level? As I said, for Japanese, now that I have an iPhone, I only use Kana, Busu. So yeah, this and anime, and also the Today app that is very helpful to improve the reading. So yeah. And for English, as I said, basically trying to read books out loud. Making videos also forces me to, like, you know, use the English Discord too. And I feel like I'm missing out something. Oh yeah, YouTube. Like, not making videos, but watching videos. I'm always watching YouTube videos, obviously. And as another YouTuber, I don't know if you know her, but it's Pixie. Oh my god, I forgot. You probably get who I'm talking about, but she said the other time, I don't get how YouTubers don't watch YouTube. Like, how are you a YouTuber and don't watch YouTube? Like, yeah, I'm always watching YouTube, and obviously in English too, so that's something that really helps me keep my level decent. That was it for the Q&A, and that means it's the end of the video. It's probably very long and not very interesting for many people. I hope that I could at least give you some tips on how to learn and give you some motivation, because you don't have to grow in a certain environment to be good at learning languages. It sometimes makes it easier, but everyone can learn a language, so you just have to put the effort, because it's not easy to learn another language. Like, you have to forget all about what you learned so far and start new. So yeah, you really need motivation, and it's not impossible. You can do it. It's like, everyone does that. It's just, it takes time. It's normal. We don't all learn at the same pace, so yeah, just do your best. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.